Hi, Wheels Killer J here.
Draven Crow here.
And today we're back with some old school Gamecube action.
Yep.
Resident Evil 0.
This time we're going to be reviewing Resident Evil 0, which is a prequel to the first Resident Evil game, I believe. From what I remember.
Yes.
This game came out, so this game came out like right after Code Veronica. So before I get to the review, this game, there was actually like a canceled game, like a canceled version of it, like made on the N64, which they canceled it because I think the N64's lifespan was pretty much dead by that point, so they pretty much had to focus on the next gen consoles, just making the next Resident Evil game for next gen consoles. So
yeah.
But yeah, Resident Evil 0 was actually supposed to be for the N64. There was actually, from what I can recall, there was gameplay footage of it on YouTube, if you can go back and watch it. But I'm actually glad that the prototype was canceled for just one reason only. The recycled sound effects from these sound effects from like Resident Evil 2. So I think it would have been annoying hearing the same sound effects from the previous game. That's why I'm kind of glad Resident Evil 3 was so different than Resident Evil 2, despite taking place almost like the exact same time. But so getting started with Resident Evil 0, the game is a great prequel. The game ties incredibly well with the first Resident Evil game. I played Resident Evil 0 back in 2002 on the Nintendo Gamecube. I didn't actually own a Gamecube back then, though, because my cousin, he let me play in his house, though. It's pretty complicated, though, but, like, he let me play it in his house.
Oh, yeah?
I would just come back, just come by and visit, because at the time being, though, I owned the PS2 and the Xbox. I got the Xbox, actually, on Christmas of 2001, and the PS2 that same year in 2002, actually.
Nice.
Because I wanted to get like 4 games. So I didn't own a GameCube back then to play Resident Evil.
You know how I played it? First time I played this game, I used to rent it.
Oh, you did?
I had the rental store, that's how I played this one.
Yeah.
Fuck, I miss rental stores.
I do. Yeah, rental stores were pretty cool, though. EB Games, way better than GameStop, though. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah, GameStop sucks ass.
Yeah, the way they do business over there. I played the game back in 2002, back when it first came out. It's nice. It's nice to know how it all began, to see what Rebecca had to deal with. But the inconsistency from like Resident Evil 0 and 1, Rebecca is pretty strange. It's similar to Daniel from Karate Kid, if you ever watched the movies.
Okay.
Because after he became like champion in the first movie, he seems to have forgotten everything about karate. But when the second movie starts, this pattern kind of repeats itself from the beginning of the second and the third movie. So let me see if I can talk about the thing about the game, though. Graphically, the game is pretty impressive. It ages pretty well. It's admittedly like one of the harder Resident Evil games.
True.
The bond between the two protagonists in the game, Rebecca and Billy.
Billy Cohen.
Yeah. So it's pretty good, though. So if you want to be if you want to be challenged mentally, then
this is the one.
For a hardcore gamer experience.
Yeah.
So if you want to be challenged mentally, like I said, just prepare for the hardcore gamer experience, because this game definitely offers it, though. obviously, like, this game came out before Resident Evil 4, before, so, like, they were still, like, using, like, the tank controls. I want to talk about the story, too. The story fills in most, if not all, of the plot holes from the series and provides a pretty engaging and, like, a pretty engaging and a pretty cool, like a pretty cool
backstory or what?
Cool, yeah, pretty cool experience. I would say that it provides essential glimpses of what surrounds the Umbrella's experiments, the origins of the T virus, and the shady characters who started the chain of the events in the saga.
Yeah.
So, the game, I do think, though, like, it does have some pretty cool ideas. Like, some of the cool ideas I did like about the game were, like, changing the characters with the push of a button of, like, the combo items without putting them in your inventory. You have, like, the red herb in your inventory, but no space for the green one. Combine them to mix the herbs. You now can carry, like, another herb, another item too. Billy helping Rebecca reach the spaces that she can't reach by herself is a pretty nice idea.
It's a good concept, though.
Yeah, as well as Rebecca using her skills in chemistry to, like, create chemicals which are needed to get the items, which in turn are, like, needed to solve, like, the riddles or getting the items solved. Many fans didn't really like the partner swapping system, but I thought it was pretty cool. This is my opinion, though, but...
Oh, yes. For sure.
Like I mentioned before, like, visually, like, Resident Evil 0, it's one of the best-looking Gamecube games in the series to date. Players can expect, like, the photorealistic environments, smoothly animated characters, and creepy lighting effects. So, this is a really cool, like, game. This game came out, like right after, like, a year after the first Devil May Cry game. And funny enough, too, the first Devil May Cry game was actually supposed to be, like, like Resident Evil 4. But,
oh, yeah?
They wanted that game. Yeah, they wanted that game to be, like, more of an action-adventure game. But they thought that, like, the game itself would, like, went like too far away from, like, like Resident Evil, so they just decided to make a new game franchise, and like, one of the coolest characters in Dante. So
nice.
But I'm getting way off topic. Yeah,
this game had a cool opening intro?
Say what?
The game when you start the game had, like, a cool opening movie there with the music there?
Yeah, the music in the game is pretty cool, though. I do like the soundtrack to it. I guess, like, other gripes I guess, like, some gripes I would have about the game, though, would be, like, I do kind of wish that Capcom would have added more cutscenes, like, where, like, you would see the rest of the Bravo family as what the rest of the, like, the Bravo family is doing, like after, like, Rebecca meets Enrico, or, like, is distributed them, like, throughout the game. It would have made the entire game, like, more exciting, though, and would have created more excitement by showing the fates of, like, every Bravo team member of the end while Rebecca makes her own to the mansion. That would be, like, one hell of a cliffhanger for everybody to only play, like, Resident Evil 0, and would have answered the question of, like, of every member found in the end.
Nice.
Resident Evil 0 is, it's, for me, though, it's probably my favorite of the older games, though.
It's quite an underrated Resident Evil, though.
Yeah, it's underrated, very, very underrated game, though. I would have, it's definitely up there with, like, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4, though.
Yep.
Yeah, Zero is perhaps like one of my favorites of the old school Resident Evil games. It's probably my favorite. You know, Billy Cohen is perhaps like the most badass Resident Evil character in history. You know, I'd probably argue he's like more badass than like Chris Redfield or like Leon. I mean, he's just a really cool character. Just,
I would
like,
just see him come back in a Resident Evil Billy Cohen if he could.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of wish they would bring him back though. He was a pretty cool character. You know, the tattoos and stuff like that, and you know the long hair. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a pretty cool character though. So overall, the game it's amazing. It's well polished. You know, great level design. It's pretty scary.
Creepy,
Pretty
eerie.
scary. It does have some like tensing moments. You know, the puzzles for the most part are great. The game deserves a better rating than it normally gets, though. I mean, like a lot of fans kind of underrate this game. This game deserves, yeah, like I said before, you know, the game deserves like more praise, more appreciation. I understand why some critics are kind of harsh on the game, but like honestly, for me, I don't really get it though, because to me, it's a masterpiece. It's the most underrated Resident Evil game in history for me.
Facts.
And it succeeded by, and it succeeded. It's probably on my, it's like definitely on my like top 3 list of like Resident Evil games for sure.
All right.
Along with 2, 3, and 4, and besides like you know the remake. And Code Veronica was pretty cool as well too. So if I had to rate the game, if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like a 9 out of 10.
I give it a 9 out of 10 as
9 out
well.
of 10.
9 out of 10 as
Yeah,
well.
like a 9 out of 10.
A solid
9 out of 10.
Yes. Yeah, 18,
Yeah.
18 out of 20. There you go.
So yeah, it gets a 9 out of 10, and I'd highly recommend it if you're like a Resident Evil fan and you've never played this game. I don't think Capcom is like planning on like remaking this game.
Not time yet,
I mean, I kind of wish they would.
but they will eventually.
They probably would since you know they've already like remade like most of their other games.
All right.
You know, the first RE game.
All right.
First RE game, Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3
And 4.
and Resident Evil 4.
So
And this game 2, yeah.
Skill G here
Draven Crow here.
and Retro Mongas. We'll see you later for the next episode.
See you.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.